Hi, everyone, and welcome back to English Speaking Nerds. I'm you lovely host, Maya.
And I'm John.
Today, we are taking a field trip. Well, a mental field trip. We are going to the one place that strikes fear into the heart of every language learner. It's not the classroom. It's not the boardroom.
It is the International Airport, the great equalizer, the place where dignity goes to die, and where your English is tested under extreme conditions.
Exactly. We call it the global test. Because think about it, John. The airport is a high-pressure environment. You are tired, you are likely dehydrated, you are stressed about time, and you're surrounded by authority figures in uniforms. It is the perfect storm for forgetting every vocabulary word you have ever learned.
It really is. I remember once I was so nervous at a security checkpoint in a foreign country that when the officer asked me, "Do you have any metal in your pockets?" I panicked and said, "Yes, I am Iron Man."
You did not.
I wish I was joking. It was a nervous reflex. He didn't laugh. He just patted me down very aggressively.
That is exactly what we want to avoid today. We are going to deconstruct the entire airport experience from the moment you step onto the curb to the moment you walk out of arrivals. But we aren't just going to give you a list of words like ticket and gate. That is for beginners.
Right. We are nerds. We want nuance. We want the psychology behind the words. We want to teach you how to negotiate, how to complain politely, how to handle a crisis, and how to sound like a sophisticated global traveler, not just a tourist with a translation app.
Before we open the check encounters for this massive lesson, if you are ready to upgrade your English from economy class to first class, please hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive like this. We are building a community here of learners who care about the details. So, join the crew.
All right, Maya, let's start at the very beginning, the drop-off.
The drop-off is emotional. You are saying goodbye to family or friends, but operationally, this is where the English starts. You are standing at the curbside.
And you look at the screen. First vocabulary distinction, departures versus arrivals. It sounds simple, but when you're stressed, people mix these up constantly. You want departures.
You walk through the automatic doors, the smell of coffee and anxiety hits you. You need to find your check-in counter. Now, in 2025, most people check in online, right?
Yes, so you probably have your mobile boarding pass on your phone, but you still have to deal with the bag drop. And this, Maya, is the first major hurdle, the bag drop interaction.
A lot of learners just walk up, put their bag on the scale, and stare at the staff member. Don't be that person. Initiate the interaction. It establishes dominance, polite dominance.
Polite dominance. I like that. How do we do it?
You walk up, smile, and say, "Hi, I've already checked in via the app. I just need to drop this bag off for the flight to London."
Simple, but what if things go wrong? Let's talk about the overweight bag. This is a classic nightmare. You put the suitcase on the scale, and the number turns red. 26 kilograms. The limit is 23.
The agent looks at you. The eyebrows go up. This is a negotiation point. A basic learner says, sorry, and starts panicking. A sophisticated learner uses mitigating language.
Give us the script.
You say, "Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize I was over. Is the flight completely full today?"
Why ask if the flight is full?
Because if the flight isn't full, they might be more lenient with the wait. It's a subtle probe. If they say, "Yes, it's full, you need to pay," you have two choices. You pay or you repack.
If you choose to repack, you need to ask for permission. You don't just start opening your underwear drawer on the counter. You say, "Would you mind if I stepped aside for a moment to shift some items to my carry-on?"
Shift some items. That's a great phrasal verb. It sounds technical. It sounds like you have a plan. And here is a pro tip. If you are traveling with a partner, ask to pool your baggage allowance.
Ooh, pool the allowance. Explain that.
It means if I have 20 kilograms and you have 26 kilograms, and the limit is 23 kilograms each, we have 46 kilograms total. Mathematically, we are fine. But some airlines are strict per bag. Asking, can we pool our baggage weight, is a very high-level request.
That is a great tip. Now, let's talk about the fragile sticker. I always want one, even if I just have clothes, because I feel like they treat it better.
They don't, John. They throw it anyway. But if you do have something breakable, you say, I have some delicate items inside. Could you please mark this as fragile? Delicate items sounds more serious than glass.
Okay, the bag is gone. We have our boarding pass. Now we face the dragon, security.
The TSA, security control. This is where the language changes completely. In the rest of the airport, people use customer service English. How can I help you? Would you like? In security, they use imperative English.
Commands. Shoes off. Laptop out. Spread your feet. Hands above your head.
It can feel aggressive, and the emotional trigger here is guilt. Even if you have done nothing wrong, you feel guilty. You think, did I accidentally pack a bomb?
Did I accidentally become a criminal since breakfast? We all feel it. The key here is verbal economy. Do not chat with the security officers. They are not bored. They are busy. Answer only what is asked.
But there is a nuance. Sometimes you need to speak up. For example, if you have a medical implant, or if you have liquids that are for a baby. You need to flag this before the scan.
Right. You don't want them to find it and yell. You want to pre-announce it. You say, excuse me, just a heads up, I have a metal rod in my leg. Or, just so you know, there is baby formula in this bag.
Just a heads up? That is the ultimate casual warning phrase. It makes you sound like a native speaker. It says, I am helpful, I am calm, I am compliant.
Now, what happens if you get the swab? You know, where they rub that little piece of paper on your hands or your bag to check for explosives.
This happened to me last month. It's terrifying. They say, I need to random check you. The correct response is not, why me, or I'm innocent. The correct response is a silent nod and a simple, okay, go ahead.
Compliance is fluency in this situation. Do not joke. Do not make jokes about bombs, ever.
Never. That is a federal offense. Okay, we survived security. We are putting our belts back on. We are reorganizing our dignity. Now we are airside.
Airside. I love that term. It sounds like a secret club. We are in the terminal. And now, the hunt for the gate begins.
But first, let's talk about the lounge. If you are lucky enough to have lounge access, or maybe you bought a day pass, the language in the lounge is different. It's hushed English.
It is. It's a library with wine. You walk up to the desk and say, hi, I believe I have access through my credit card, or I'd like to purchase a day pass.
And once you are inside, if you want to use the shower, because some nice lounges have showers, you ask, is there a waiting list for the shower facilities? Facilities is a great euphemism for bathrooms/showers.
Okay, we've refreshed, we've had our free snacks, we walk to the gate, and this, Maya, is where the social dynamics of the airport get interesting. The gate lice.
John, you can't just say gate lice without explaining it.
It's an industry term. Gate lice are the people who stand right in front of the boarding door before their group is called. They block the way. Don't be a gate louse.
Be sophisticated. Sit down, wait for your boarding group. But this is also where the delay happens, the dreaded announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, Flight 492 is delayed due to technical difficulties.
The groan of the crowd. Now here is where you can be a proactive nerd. Most people just sit and suffer. You, the nerd, go to the desk. But you don't ask, when will we leave? The agent doesn't know.
You ask about the consequences of the delay. You say, "Hi, considering this delay, will I still make my connection in Frankfurt?" Or, "If the delay extends past 2 hours, what is the policy on meal vouchers?"
What is the policy on? That is a power phrase. It implies you know there is a policy. It forces them to treat you like an informed consumer, not a helpless passenger.
Exactly. Now, let's assume we are finally boarding. You scan your pass, you walk down the jet bridge, that narrow tunnel, you step onto the plane, boarding complete.
This is the Tetris phase, putting the bags in the overhead bin.
This is where tension is high. Everyone is fighting for space. If you get to your row and the bin is full, don't just shove your bag in and crush someone's hat. You ask, "Excuse me, is there any space in the bins further forward?" Or you look at a passenger and say, "Is this your jacket? Would you mind if I placed my bag next to it?"
Would you mind? We use this so much. It is the WD-40 of English conversation. It makes everything smooth.
Now, the seat scenario. The seat switch. We touched on this before, but let's go deeper. You are in 14A, window. Someone in 14B, middle, asks you to switch so they can sit with their partner who is in 14C.
So they want you to take the middle seat. That's a terrible deal.
It is, but you don't want to be rude. You use the soft refusal. You say, "Oh, I'd love to help, but I specifically booked the window because I get motion sickness."
Motion sickness, the ultimate excuse. Nobody argues with vomit.
Exactly. It's a biological reason. It shuts down the negotiation without you being the bad guy.
What if you want to switch? What if you are separated from your child?
Then you need to offer value. You don't say, "Move." You say, "Hi, I know this is a big favor, but my daughter is sitting in that seat. Would you be willing to switch? I have an aisle seat in row 10, which has a bit more legroom."
You have to sell the trade. You are a salesperson for that seat.
Correct. Now we are in the air. The in-flight service begins.
Chicken or beef? The eternal question. But what if you have a dietary restriction? You should have ordered this online weeks ago, but let's say it didn't register. You ask, "Excuse me, I pre-ordered a vegetarian meal, but I don't think it's on your list. Do you have any spare vegetarian options?"
And if they say no, you stay calm. You ask, "Okay, I understand. Could you possibly check if there are any extra sides or snacks from business class? I'm quite hungry."
Asking for business class leftovers. That is bold. I love it.
It works more often than you think. Flight attendants are humans. If you are polite and you are hungry, they will try to find you a bread roll or some cheese.
Let's talk about a physical problem. You're flying and your ears won't pop, or you have a splitting headache.
You can ask the flight attendant for help. They are trained for this. You say, "Excuse me, I'm feeling a bit unwell. Do you have any painkillers?" Or, "I'm feeling quite nauseous. Do you have any ginger ale?"
Ginger ale. The magic sky medicine. Why do we only drink ginger ale on planes?
Science says it's because our taste buds change at altitude, but also it settles the stomach.
What about the neighbor? The chatty Cathy. You want to sleep, but the guy next to you wants to discuss the geopolitical situation in Eastern Europe.
You need the polite shutdown. You listen for 2 minutes, because we are polite humans, and then you look at your watch or phone and say, "It was so interesting hearing your perspective. I'm going to try to get some rest now before we land. Nice talking to you."
And then you put your headphones on immediately. The headphones are the
do not disturb sign of the 21st century.
Precisely. Now, let's fast forward. The pilot announces, "Cabin crew, prepare for landing. We touch down. We taxi to the gate."
And then everyone stands up immediately, even though the door is closed. Why do we do this?
It's human nature. But here's the stressful part, the tight connection.
Oh, the sprint. You have 45 minutes to get from Terminal A to Terminal F, and you're in row 35.
In this scenario, you have to abandon some etiquette. You need to get off that plane fast. You stand up and say to the people in the aisle, "Excuse me, I have a very tight connection. Would you mind letting me through?"
Most people will help you, but you have to communicate. If you just push, they will hate you. If you explain, "My flight leaves in 30 minutes," they will part like the Red Sea.
You get off the plane, you run, you hit the transfer security. Yes, sometimes you have to do security again during a connection.
Which is the worst? But let's say you make it. Or let's say you don't. The missed connection.
This is a crisis. You are stuck in a foreign airport. Your plane has left. You go to the transfer desk. You do not cry. You do not scream. You use passive voice to shift blame to the situation, not yourself.
Example?
"Hi, I missed my connection to Tokyo because the incoming flight was delayed." See? It's not, "I was slow," it's, "the flight was delayed." Then you say, "What is the next available flight you can rebook me on?"
And if the next flight is tomorrow?
You ask, "Will the airline provide hotel accommodation and meal vouchers for the overnight stay?"
You have to know your rights. In Europe, for example, they have to give you this. In the US, it depends on the reason. But you must ask, is this covered by the airline?
Okay, let's assume everything went well. We arrived. We are walking down the long corridor to immigration.
This is the boss battle, the final exam, passport control.
We talked about this briefly before, but let's analyze the psychology. The officer is trained to spot lies and nervousness. If you are rambling, if you are giving too much detail, you look suspicious.
So brevity is king.
Exactly. Officer, what is the purpose of your visit? You. Tourism. Officer, how long are you staying? You. 2 weeks.
Officer, where are you staying? You, the Marriott Hotel.
Officer, what do you do for work? You. I'm a software engineer.
Don't say, well, I work for a company that does. No, just the title.
Now, sometimes they ask a tricky question. Do you have a return ticket?
This is where you need to have your papers ready. Do not fumble through your phone for 5 minutes. Have a screenshot ready. You say, yes, here is the confirmation.
What about the visa question? Do you have a visa?
If you are from a country that needs one, obviously have it. But sometimes you have an e-visa or a visa on arrival. You need to use the correct terminology. I have an approved e-visa linked to this passport.
That sounds very professional. Linked to this passport. It shows you understand the digital system.
Okay, the stamp hits the paper. Thump. Best sound in the world. You are in.
Not yet. You are in the baggage hall. The carousel.
The carousel of broken dreams. You stand there, you watch the bags go round and round.
If your bag doesn't come, we go to the lost luggage desk. We discussed the PIR, Property Irregularity Report, but let's add a detail. The description.
You cannot just say it's a black bag. Half the bags are black. You need adjectives. It is a 28-inch, hard-shell, Samsonite suitcase with a red ribbon tied to the handle.
Hard shell versus soft shell. Spinner wheels, 4 wheels, versus roller wheels, 2 wheels. These words help them find your bag in the system.
And be sure to give them your local address clearly. I am staying at the Marriott on 5th Street. Don't mess that up, or your bag will go to a different hotel.
Finally, the last step, customs. The nothing to declare lane, usually green, or the goods to declare lane, red.
In some countries, this is easy. You just walk out. In countries like Australia, New Zealand, or Chile, this is serious. They have dogs, beagles.
Coot dogs, but they will find that apple you forgot in your backpack, and they will find you.
So the strategy here is radical honesty. If you aren't sure, ask. Walk to the red lane and say, I have some packaged chocolate and some wooden souvenirs. Do I need to declare these?
The officer will usually appreciate the honesty, check it quickly, and say, no problem, go ahead. If you lie and they catch you, it's a fine and a permanent mark on your record.
I'd rather be safe than sorry. That's the motto for customs.
We walk out through the sliding doors, we see the crowd of people holding signs, we breathe the fresh air of a new country.
We made it, but we still need to get to the hotel. Ground transportation.
Taxis versus rideshare versus train. If you take a taxi, always ask before you get in, do you accept credit cards? And is it a flat rate to the city center?
Never get into a taxi that refuses to use the meter unless it's a government fixed rate. That is Travel 101.
And if you are looking for an Uber or Lyft, you need to ask for the rideshare pickup zone. In big airports, you can't just get picked up anywhere.
Excuse me, could you point me toward the rideshare pickup zone? Point me toward. Nice directional phrase.
John, looking back at this journey, it's exhausting just talking about it.
It is, but do you see what we did? We took a scary, chaotic experience and we broke it down into manageable scripts.
That is the power of nerdy English. It's preparation. When you have the script in your head, you don't have to think about the grammar in the moment. You can focus on the situation.
And I think that's the emotional key here. Preparation reduces anxiety. If you know how to ask for a lost bag, you won't be as scared of losing your bag.
Exactly. It's like having an insurance policy. You hope you don't need to use the phrase property irregularity report, but knowing it makes you feel safe.
I want to give our listeners a challenge. The next time you travel, I want you to try to be the sophisticated traveler.
Yes. Wear comfortable but nice clothes. Stand tall. Look people in the eye. And use the softeners. Could you possibly? I was wondering if. Would you mind?
And see how the world treats you differently. People respond to politeness. People help those who communicate clearly.
And if you make a mistake? If you stumble?
Who cares? You are never going to see these people again. You are a global citizen on the move. Shake it off and keep walking to the gate.
That's the spirit. Mistakes are just turbulence. They shake you up, but the plane keeps flying.
I love that metaphor. Mistakes are just turbulence.
Before we land this episode, let's do a very quick, rapid-fire review of the best vocabulary from today.
Okay, hit me.
The phrase to use when your bag is too heavy, but you want to fix it.
Would you mind if I stepped aside to rearrange my items?
The phrase to use at security to warn them about something.
Just a heads up, I have object in my bag.
The phrase to use when the flight is delayed and you are worried.
Considering the delay, will I still be able to make my connection?
The phrase to use when you want to switch seats but can't.
I'd love to help, but I specifically booked this seat for reason.
The phrase to describe your lost bag officially.
I need to file a property irregularity report.
Perfect. If you memorize just those 5 phrases, you are already in the top 10% of travelers.
And hey, we want to hear from you. We want your airport stories.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Did you ever miss a flight because of a misunderstanding? Did you ever get an upgrade because you asked nicely?
Did you ever accidentally pack a giant bottle of shampoo and have to throw it away at security while crying?
That sounds specific, John. Did you do that?
I plead the fifth. I don't want to talk about it. It was expensive shampoo.
Tell us in the comments below. We read every single one, and your stories help other learners realize they're not alone.
That's right. We are a community of nerds helping nerds.
Thank you for flying with English-speaking nerds today. We know you have many choices for English learning, and we thank you for choosing us.
Please place your tray tables in the upright position, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next lesson.
Safe travels, everyone. Stay curious, stay polite, and speak with authority.
Bye, our lovely nerds.
Bye, everyone.